In a tournament Scrabble game, North American champion Matthew Tunnicliffe called over the referee. He asked for the two-letter word L, spelled E-L, to be checked and lost 5 points for the incorrect challenge. Why did he do it? And here's the question again. In a tournament Scrabble game, North American champion Matthew Tunnicliffe called over the referee. He asked for the two-letter word L, spelled E-L, to be checked and lost 5 points for the incorrect challenge. Why did he do it?
Okay, we should first of all explain, for anyone who grew up with house rules of Scrabble that completely ignored the idea of challenging, which I think is a lot of people, how that actually works.
If you see a word that you don't think is a word...
Remember the 3 S's. See it? Say it. Sorry.
Scrabble it?
See it, say it, Scrabble. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, you can brand that.
Oh, that joke will land for a small fraction of the audience, but I'm glad it worked today.
And we love you all, our trained friends. If there's a word on the board that you think isn't a word, you challenge it. And I don't know, I think it's so if it's a successful challenge, that gets removed from the board and there will be some form of penalty, which I think can vary from probably tournament to tournament. But that's the essence. You can challenge a word. But if it's right, then
I thought you just lost a turn. You also lose points, apparently.
So in this specific tournament, the rules are you can challenge a word, and if you are incorrect and that word is valid, you do get points deducted, but it is still your turn.
So if it's an incorrect challenge and there is actually a word, it blows back on you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is a strategy. Like, there are people who will deliberately play words that they know are not in the dictionary because they look good enough and maybe the opponent won't challenge it. And that is I believe it in casual play, that is what would be referred to as a dick move. But in competitive play, that is a valid strategy.
So the question being, why did he do it? Meaning, why did he issue a challenge? I think could be taken 2 ways. Meaning, why did he think this word was incorrect? Or why did he knowingly issue a challenge on a word that he thought was correct?
EL is going to be quite a common 2-letter Scrabble word. It's one... If you're a Scrabbler at a tournament, you will have memorised all of the 2-letter words. Yep. So they will know that's a word.
I have, during lockdown, I spent quite a bit of time playing online Scrabble. And I realise how petty it is that I still remember this as just a great moment. But I was losing very badly in a game. But my opponent's clock was on 20 seconds. And all I had to do was skip enough times and their timer ran out. And that moment, I don't know who they were. I've never met, but if at some point during lockdown you were beaten by some jerk who had a little British flag because you didn't check it out, that might have been me, and I make no apologies for that. My point is that maybe there was if it's a tournament, there is a rule that the whole game must be over in this amount of time, and he's trying to force a timeout, and calling the marshal over counts against that time.
When would you play L? What are the times that you would play a 2-letter word?
Towards the end, probably. So you're probably only playing...
Or when you're trying to play a much larger word, and that comes in as part of it. You're laying down a word next to another.
So whilst they played a 2-letter word... I'm assuming it made other words as well as EL.
Like in a corner,
correct?
Perhaps.
Okay, so is one of those other words a word that looked potentially like it wasn't a word? That doesn't help me.
Why would you lose 5 points?
The only thing I could think of about losing points is what if you didn't want to win? What if you wanted to lose and somehow you might get a better draw in the next round?
It's in a similar spirit, but not exactly that. It's definitely a strategic move.
Oh, if you don't know it's a word and you've got an S and you want to make a plural of it, but you weren't sure it's a word, is it just making sure that this was a word? I'm going to pluralise that and put an S on the end.
So the key phrase is he called over the referee.
Oh, okay, Tom. This might be going back to you playing online. You ran down someone's clock. Is he trying to run down a clock? So even though he loses points, if his opponent only has 30 seconds or so, and he's called, it's their turn, the clock stays on them. Does the clock
is the opponent doing something else? Is the opponent breaking some other rule? And he wants to bring the referee's attention to that.
He's not doing anything malicious or tricky. It really is the timing of his realization is key, of his challenge realization.
Well, does he need more time to think about a word that he needs?
No, he did make a realization. So let's look at the facts. So there's L, which is the word, and we've established that there's L and another word.
I really like that, Dan, that he stopped his own clock running down, but that feels like that's a bad sportsmanship. It feels like is not the answer to this question.
What is the goal? What is your ultimate feel-good goal in Scrabble to get? What's your flex?
Lay down all your tiles. Get all
which is called what?
A bingo.
The bingo.
And if you really want to flex, you're doing that on 2 triple word scores. But why would you need the ref to come over?
So again, Matthew, he lost the challenge, right? He challenged on a valid word, and it was still his turn. So he took the point loss, but in this tournament, it's still his turn.
Okay. He knew the other word was invalid. The other 2-letter word formed in addition to EL. He knew that word was invalid, but he wanted to play off that word to make a valid turn. But again, I'm struggling to say why he had to call the referee over to structure this.
Oh, so it's the mistaken challenge. Like, the realization he's had is he's got a bingo or something big that he can play off of this. But he hadn't realised when he started the challenge. He had a good word come into his head. So even though there's an incorrect word on the board or something like that, he goes, whilst there is an incorrect word, I'm going to challenge the valid word because I still want it to be my go.
He wanted it to stand. Right. Okay. Oh. I was sort of onto it, but I was like, why? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Then you play a really good word, and that 5-point hit, you just have to take it.
Yeah.
It was to keep his opponent's invalid word on the board. L was one of the byproduct words. Yeah, So Matthew's opponent had played the invalid word lavo, L-A-V-O, on the board, thus creating also spelling L-E-L, the word, which is a valid word. And so he's like, well, lavo's not a word. He called over the ref to challenge the play so that it can be taken off the board. However, as the referees look pacing over, he's like, oh, I can make a bingo at a strategic place if this word stays.
That's great.
But I already challenged it. So yes, to avoid the opponent's invalid word being removed from the board, he intentionally challenged a valid word.
That's great.
And so he took a 5-point loss. And in this tournament, the rules were you could continue your turn. And so then he was able to play Leaguer, Leaguer, for 65 points, including the 50-point bingo bonus.
The Lateral Producers Club is at lateralcast.com if you would like more Lateral, fewer adverts, and to support the show.